being a veterinarian itself as a lady is a very great achievement. And I asked her, just state your problem, I'll help you. She said, no, you can't help me. I asked why. She said, you are a woman. I said, yes, I'm the doctor. She said, no, because she was expecting a man. Of course, I was the doctor. So they would call me to go and treat their donkeys. That's how I started loving the donkeys and even trying to check on their welfare. My name is Dr. Njeri Njuguna. I work with the Ministry of Agriculture, State Department of Livestock, Directorate of Veterinary Services. I'm the head Animal Welfare, Communication, and Veterinary Advisory Services. Today being the International Women's Day, it's a very great day for the women, and becoming a veterinarian up to this level was not an easy journey. I brought up from a humble background, whereby by the time we were learning, it was not easy to climb up to the top. Men were actually the ones who were doing veterinary medicine, and we had not even seen a woman who was a veterinarian by then. I hadn't seen any. So I just went to school like other children. Then I passed my exams. Of course, earlier I had thought of being a doctor, but I didn't know what the doctor means. Well, the way we ask questions, what will you be when you grow up? I had thought of being a doctor. I used to see the nurses being very smart in white clothing. So I was thinking doctors and nurses are all the same. So I also wanted to put on the uniform. Then when I went to secondary school, I was very good in sciences. So I passed sciences. But I would share a moment when I was a small girl. That is in 1975. One of our senior veterinarian who was from our village. One day he came, our cow was sick. And so when he came, he told my parents to slaughter the cow and he inspect the meat. The question I asked, why should it be slaughtered? You know, you are still small, just curious. Then when he did the meat inspection, he told us that it is our cow had swallowed a needle and it had pierced the heart. So I wondered, how would a needle swallowed, which is in the stomach, affect the heart? So I was curious. So that is the first time I saw a vet. And then the work he did, of course, it mesmerized me, cutting pieces of meat. I didn't know what meat inspection was all about. Of course, during that time, I used to have my small chicken, a few of them, which I would treat using the herbal medicine, because, you know, as a small girl, the way you look after a few animals here and there. We also used to have a dog called Simba, which I always made sure that it is well fed. When I went to my secondary school, that's when I took sciences. I was very good in them. Then I was admitted to my A-level at Kangaroo High School. When I went there, at first I wanted to take human medicine. I wanted to do maths, chemistry, and biology. But then the class of where the maths was being done was full. So I had now to change. I took chemistry, biology, and geography. And by then I still had that urge of wanting to know what the veterinarians do. When we were applying for the university courses, my first choice was veterinary medicine. That time you don't even know whether you were passed to do it because the cutoff points were still high. Then I passed well and I was admitted to the College of Agriculture and Veterinary Sciences. I went through and it was quite tasking being a vet, and we were just 8 ladies in a class of 93. So it was more so a class of men. After that, I didn't practice immediately. I went to work with the universities. I worked with the Jaton University and Jomo Kenyatta University. Then from there, I joined the government. But before I joined the government, because of the urge to look after animals and to even practice, I would practice in our village. And everybody was mesmerized. How can a lady like, and I was very thin by then, and you can imagine the issue of dystocia in cattle. And you are the one to go and relieve the dystocia. So everybody was wondering, how am I able to bring the animal down? My first interaction with the donkeys was during my first posting. I was posted to Ngarwa, which is in Laikipia County, and that place was affected by drought. There was very little water. There was no river. So the water that we were consuming was coming from the dams, and the mode of transport were the donkeys. So the owner of one of the owners would bring water to my house, and we would buy the water. And that is how I got now to the issue of seeing how donkeys are and how they interact with the human beings and their economic importance. Because the whole area, the area is called Olesipiri. The water was just from the dams, and there was no other means of, there were no cars or anything. There was no piped water. So the water vendors would use the donkeys to bring water to us. And when they are sick, of course I was the doctor. So they would call me to go and treat their donkeys. That's how we started loving the donkeys, and even trying to check on their welfare. I would even tell them that it is wrong to beat the donkey. Some would have wounds, and I'm the one who used to treat them. One thing is that there is a lot of discrimination of women when it comes to science courses. Is people think that they cannot do it. I have experienced it. When I went to Baringo, I can give a case in point. When I went to work in Baringo, one of the ladies came to the office and she wanted her animal to be attended. I was in the office, so at the reception, she said she wants to see the doctor. And so she was told, get in. She found me seated in the office. And that time, when I was seated in the office, she came, she greeted me. But because of the perception of their culture, the Kalenjin culture, that women should be at home. When she came in, I asked her, how can I help you? She said, I want to see the doctor. And I asked her, just state your problem, I'll help you. She said, no, you can't help me. I asked why. She said, you are a woman. I said, yes, I'm the doctor. She said, no, because she was expecting a man to attend to her. She went out. When she went out and found my assistant, she was asked, of course, grandmother called Gogo in Kalenjin. She was asked, Gogo, were you helped? She said, no, I found the secretary, but not the doctor. Then she was told, no, that is the doctor. She came back and said, I'm sorry, I thought you were just the secretary. And then she stated her problem. And from there, we became friends. I went, attended to her animal, and she would never, whenever she came to the office, she would always look for me.